be drinking that much tea, so I just did like a one size or one person tea. And then here's my cup that I chose today. I went for like a spring vibe, so this kind of just reminds me of spring because it's starting to warm up here. So we've got little flowers with our baby blue and baby pink. So that's super cute. I just like love the pastels for spring. And then here's the cup. You'll recognize it if you saw my teacup collection. It's so beautiful. Look at the handle. Okay. And then in here I have some oat milk. Some oat milk. And I have some sugar cubes in here. So that's what I will be sipping on. So if you'd like to join me, go grab yourself a cup of tea, coffee, water, whatever you want to drink, and come back for story time. And then I have this tiny little spoon, and this is gonna be my first story because I stole this. Yes, I'm not someone who steals things, but let me get comfy. I'm gonna pour my tea now. I should have held that up to the mic, but forgot. Let me try with the milk. I don't want to drop anything. You can't really hear that. Okay, and a sugar cube. Okay, so I'm not someone who steals things, I promise. But even when I was a kid, I never stole anything. Like, I never stole a chocolate bar from a store or anything. But this is like the first thing I stole. So I stole this spoon, this like teaspoon, during it was on my 10-year anniversary, which was also the day I got engaged. So yeah, I noticed that he was in both of those classes, but I wasn't like focused on like trying to get a boyfriend or anything. Like I kind of was just like, I gotta focus on school, and I was like really anxious. I'm still an anxious person, but you know, I was all like just trying to survive high school, right? So my first class of the day was drama class, and I made friends with this girl. And she ended up, she knew him from elementary school. They were really close friends from elementary school. And the one day she came up to me and she asked me if I was single, and I thought she was asking me out. And I was like, yeah, I am single. And she was probably the best thing that we could have done for us. You know, we both had to take our separate time to kind of understand ourselves and learn and grow as ourselves rather than as a couple, and to become independent and stuff. And we became a lot more independent. So if you are going through something similar, I'm not saying that like you're gonna get back together or whatever, but if it's meant to be, it will be. And yeah, we both talk about how that was like really good for our relationship. And then so it was like 5 years, and then she was like, my sister was like, okay, can I get the receipt? And she goes, she took it. She was like, she has the receipt, she took it. And I was like, I don't have the receipt. She was like, no, you grabbed it. Like, she was like a Karen. And I was like, no, I didn't. I was like, maybe it's back at your table. And my sister was like, literally, it's fine, I can just print off another one. But the accusation right off the hop, she was like, she took it. It was just like, that's how she said it too. Okay, and then another time, it was like within my first week of working at the restaurant, there was like this birthday song that we had to do, and like my one manager that I worked for like for 10 years, I worked with him at this restaurant, and then I followed him to a restaurant that he opened up himself. So we would always bring up this story because like he like made me cry because of this. Okay, so we had to do like a birthday song, right? So I was like, I don't know the birthday song yet, but he's like, I'll just like follow along, like just go over there and clap, and you don't have to sing yet, because like you'll learn the song eventually. So we go over and everyone's like clapping, and they're like, happy birthday on this your special day, happy birthday. But like I'm silent, and I'm just like, because like I don't know the song. And the birthday man goes, she's not singing.